If you are somebody who is looking to gain a leveraged position into a stock that you like for the long term, but you do not have the capital for it, we are going to be teaching you about what is called a leap option. So in today's video, we're going to break down leap options, how they work, how you set them up, and what is the overall purpose of them. So if you are excited for today's video, as always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to this channel, and as always, turn those bell notifications for all future uploads. This is day 1 of 7 days of options trading here, and today we're starting off with the basics, which is called leap options. Now, if you're not familiar with what a leap option is, leap options are long-term equity anticipation securities. Say that 5 times fast. But leap options, basically, I always look at it as in like you're leaping into the future. You are looking at a further dated option contract of your stock that you're looking for here. So I will bring up an example here. I'm going to break it down from start to finish. One of the examples that I would like to go through would be something like Microsoft. Why Microsoft? Microsoft has had a big pullback in the year so far, down 23%, almost as down as 26%. In the last year or so, it is now down about break even, which again, people love Microsoft. They're a company that's been for the future. They have Copilot, they have Xbox, Game Pass, stuff like that. They have Office, like you name it. Microsoft's got a lot of amazing things here. People love it. They have a really good dividend payout, for example. And you are looking at getting into a leveraged position with Microsoft. Again, we say leveraged here because leverage is what options provide to you. Bearing you know exactly how options works, they could put you in a good leverage position. So, for example, if I was somebody who wanted to buy up 100 shares of Microsoft, it would cost me $37,340. If I wanted to go over here and type in, 100 shares, look at that. That is an insane amount of money that majority of us, myself included, don't just have lying around to buy up 100 shares of Microsoft. So the question is, well, Fridge, how can I get 100 shares of Microsoft without having to put up this much capital? And this is where leap options and options in general create leveraged opportunities for you. So you're going to go over here to where it says trade Microsoft options right above my, nice silhouette here. And what you're going to see is you're going to see the options chain. Now, the options chain trades on what's called contracts. And each contract is equivalent to 100 shares. Okay. So that's why instead of buying 100 shares for $37,000, these contracts give you access to 100 shares at a much cheaper price. You're able to control 100 shares worth at a much cheaper price. So what you'll see up top here, and again, if you're not familiar with the options trading strategies here, we're going to be doing a lot of them over this week that I have off for spring break. You can also take a look at previous videos, but now these are more updated videos and newer videos and better ways that I can hopefully explain it for you here. So feel free to take a look at that. Obviously, Fridge Financials channel. It is all there for you completely free of charge, of course. So if you wanted to be on Robinhood, for example, they have a builder where you can take a look at how you could build options yourself. If you want to look at some strategies there, that's over there as well. What you have to become familiar with is this top part over here, over there. Yeah, that one. Okay. You have buy, sell, call, put, and you have expiring, and you have a date. Okay. So buying is obviously like you're the one paying for it. So you'll be spending money on a contract. You'll be buying a contract. The opposite of a buyer would obviously be a seller. Right? As if you need to buy something from a store, you have someone that sells it to you. It's the same thing with the options chain, same thing, right? You have a buyer, you have a seller, okay? So when you're buying, you're going to be paying that money up front. When you're selling, you'll be getting paid that much money up front. And we'll talk about selling options in a different video. Do not worry. You also have a call and you have a put option here. A call basically means that you are being bullish on the stock and you're thinking that's going to go up to a certain strike price. Put means you are being the opposite. You are being bearish, so if I buy a put option, I'm betting for Microsoft to go down. If I buy a call option, I'm betting for Microsoft to go up. And the most important thing for leap options here is the expiration date. This is what allows you to have control or access to 100 shares of a stock without having to pay the full amount for it. Okay, so leap options typically go for at least a year. I do mine a little over a year out. You can go as far as 3 years if you want to. If you go all the way down here, you can go right now to, about almost, that's about like 2.5 years, it looks like about. You go about like a little over 2.5 years if you want to for Microsoft, and that'll be 985 days till expiration. Now, things to keep in mind about, as you push the expiration date further out, it will cost you more money. That is something to keep in mind about. Okay, so if you're looking at December 15th, 2028, which is again is 985 days away, you were looking at paying a juicy premium. You're looking at paying a good amount of money for this one because of how expensive it's going to be. But again, your typical leap option, anything after, anything around like June 2027 onward would be considered a leap option in the stock market game. So let's say we go to December 17th of 2027. And again, Microsoft has had a big pullback recently, and you're like, Fridge, I think it's bound to recover. And I'm like, you know what? I get that. I completely understand. Microsoft's a very good company, very high-paid dividend company, Mag 7, like you name it. Like there's so many good things about the company overall, right? So you want to buy a call option. Now, as you will see, the share price right now is at $373.40, okay? And when you're buying a call option here, you have to keep in mind what's called the strike price. You have the strike price, which is basically what you're looking for to go up to the break even. You also have the price you're going to be paying per one share of it. Keep that in mind. This is how much you're paying for one share of Microsoft. And again, it's in contracts, or it's in the contract is 100 shares worth. So you take what you pay and you multiply it by 100 times. So if you paid, $6,000, you'd be paying, or if you paid $60 per share, it'd be $6,000, for example. All right. So let's say that, you think Microsoft is going to be, have a big move to the upside. I don't know what the all-time high was recently, but say, Fridge, I think it's going to be a $500 contract right here. So you'll be able to open up this position here. Now, this will cost you, as you'll see, $2,800 here. Okay. So keep that in mind. And this is a trade where this is a leap option, but it's a far out of the money. You might see it as an OTM, a far out of the money option here. Why? Because right now it's at $373, and you're expecting it to go to $510 or $500. Sorry. And what's even more interesting that you have to keep in mind about is if I can move this down a little. Let me move my head out of the way here really quick. Slide over. Whoop. So what's really interesting that you'll see is that actually the break even is $528.10. Okay. Now saying, Fridge, why? You paid $500 for the strike price, which I did. But again, you have to factor in your break even is going to be your strike price plus the premium that you pay up front. So instead of it actually going to $500, you would actually still be out all of your money. And as it climbs to $528, you are now break even. And then after that, anything after that is pure profit. But as you'll see, again, you are basically controlling 100 shares worth of Microsoft at $500. If it goes past that 528 break even, because obviously you had to pay for that, anything past that, you are getting that very, very nice leverage position of it. You are controlling 100 shares of Microsoft at $2,800 at a $500 strike price. But again, it's not there. So what I like to look for when looking at options contracts is looking at the delta for sure. This delta is 35, which means for every dollar Microsoft moves, this option will move up about 35 cents. Okay. Open interest is a good thing to look at for sure. Volume, bid-ask spreads. These are all really good things to take a look at as you're looking at your contracts here. As you will see, your implied volatility is going to be relatively low because you're so far out. They're not going to get a big move. This might spike a tiny bit when it comes to earnings for Microsoft in the future, but this is going to be relatively low. As you get closer and closer, your IV might ramp up a little bit as you get closer to that expiration date here. So if I'm looking at someone who's buying a leap option on Microsoft, I want to basically have it as almost a one-to-one control. So if Microsoft goes up $1, I want to go up 70 cents for my contract or 80 cents, which would be even better, obviously. But again, the deeper contract you go, the higher the delta, the more you pay for it. So as you will see here, right, when we look at this leap option here, this is what's called now in the money because you are already below the current share price. So you have out of the money, which is up top. You have in the money, which is down below in here. So anything below 373.40 is considered to be in the money because obviously the share price is already above your strike. But again, keep in mind, your break even is your strike price plus the premium that you pay. So even though you're like, oh, this is free money here, it's actually not because your break even is actually at $442. Take your strike price plus how much you pay. That gives you the break even of $442. Microsoft is not there. It's at $373. So that's something to keep in mind about. But as you will notice, this delta here of 0.65 means for every dollar Microsoft moves, I will be able to have this contract move up 65 cents of the dollar, or about 65% of the move that Microsoft gets, this option contract will get for us. So what I look for a delta, again, it's like 70 to 80, something like that. One of the ones that I think I would really like to get into if I was to open this trade here, which again, this is not financial advice, of course, this is just breaking down leap options here, is the 320 here. Why? Because the delta is about 77. So that means that for every dollar Microsoft moves up, this contract will go up 77 cents. And what I like about this as well is that your break even, so you're looking at 320 plus $100 because you're breaking even to 420 bucks here. Microsoft needs to move 12.5% to break even in a matter of, a year and a half. A year and a half for a Mag 7 to move 12% is not super unlikely. It's actually not a bad chance of that happening here, right? It can move 12% in 1 year. You're looking at 1.5 years in this case here. And so again, taking a look at the bid-ask spread, again, you got to make sure you get filled at a certain price because you're further out in terms of your contract here. But again, your delta is pretty good here. And what this is telling me is that I basically am getting access to 100 shares of Microsoft at 320 for $10,000 here. Okay, it's a $10,000 trade you'll be looking at getting here. But instead of buying 100 shares right now for $37,000, I can get access to 100 shares for $10,000. And as long as it goes up to 420, anything after that is pure profit. Now, again, you can go further out and say, Fridge, well, what if I want to go even further out? You definitely can. You can go way further out if you want to. But again, as you will see, as your delta increases, your price you're paying is going to increase as well. If you went to a 250, for example, your break even is like 6.5% right here. It's going to cost you $14,000. But even still, it's going to cost you $14,000 instead of buying 100 shares at $373. So you're still getting a discount of way more than 50% less, which to me, I think is amazing. Why would you not want to do that? So again, and the thing to keep in mind about is how much money you have in this case here. And again, the more money you have, the more you can get a deeper in the money leap option, for example. But again, if you're sitting there saying, well, Fridge, I can't do this with Microsoft, for example, it's like, okay, well, let's look at some other companies, right? We can go to another company, for example. Super Microcomputers is one that I still have liked, even though they had the big pullback because of the, scandal of, illegal, smuggling of parts and stuff like that over in China. Again, I like Super Micro as an overall value play here. So if you go to trade Super Micro computer options here, you go to SMCI options, same option chain here. Nothing is different in this case. And again, you look at $23. If you came to afford $2,300, that's okay. $2,300 here would be 100 shares worth. Let's say you want to go further out into a leap option here. Same expiration like Microsoft. You can get access to, again, looking at like a 73, 75 delta around here, you can get access to 100 shares for half the price. This is going to cost you $1,000 for 100 shares of Super Micro instead of $2,300 that you would be paying at market value. And again, you would need a break even, obviously, of 44%. It's a huge move to the upside you're looking for in this case here. But at the same time, Super Micro was trading around $30-something at the time before that news broke out. And, this is a year and a half to expiration. And the thing you're going to notice also, this one has a lot more of a higher implied volatility. And again, the higher your implied volatility is going to be, the more expensive your contracts are going to be as an option buyer. So that's also something to keep in mind about here. The good thing is you have a lot of open interest. You have a decent bid-ask spread here, which is very, very good as well. If you went even to the $20 one, that one's $1,100, and your break even is $31, which is basically back to where it was before the news broke out here. A nice 77 delta, decent open interest. Bid-ask spread is not too bad here. So that would be, again, literally about half of what you're paying. So instead of buying the $2,300 in shares worth, you can get it for half that price, $1,113, which again, not too bad. Break even obviously would be, strike price plus your premium that you pay. So $31.13 would be your break even. And if you want to be like somewhere in between, for example, I'm someone who has liked Uber. This is not financial advice, of course, so don't just take these trades as it is. I've liked Uber recently as a result. I know Uber had a big pullback, was trading almost as high as $100 in this case. Had a big pullback recently, but they are partnering with JOBY to do some transportation with VTOLs and stuff like that over out in the Middle East over there. So that's very cool. I took Ubers recently out of JFK. It's super expensive. People are paying hand over fist for it. It's absolutely wild. So again, Uber would be, $7,000. You want to buy 100 shares of this one here. It's going to cost you $7,000. You don't got $7,000? That's okay, Fridge. Don't worry. Buy, call option, go way far out. And again, you can go further out if you want to. You can go all the way, you can go to January 2028 if you wanted to. It's still going to give you basically, again, that exposure to 100 shares without paying for that 100 shares worth. So, for example, if I want to go to the $60 one, a nice 76 delta here. Take a look at the open interest, 705, which is not too bad. Bid ask isn't too bad here as well. You open up this one right here, you're going to get exposure to 100 shares of Uber for only $2,435. And again, if it goes past $84, anything after that is pure profit. And you're basically having exposure to the 100 shares. Again, the delta for this one, you can read delta in two ways. Either it's how much it moves for $1 of Uber, or you can look at it as the probability of expiring with profit in the money in this case here. So a 76 delta means you're going to be expiring in the profit 76% of the time. It's not guaranteed. Obviously, these numbers fluctuate obviously a lot, as you will watch when you do more options trading. But that is how you look at leap options here. Again, leap options, you're looking at basically getting exposure and leveraging your portfolio. Because for me, I can say I have exposure to 100 shares of Uber for $2,400, and I can use the rest of the capital somewhere else if I want to, and then put that to work. And I still have the exposure instead of having to buy 100 shares at $7,000. Okay. Now, if you like leap options, in another video coming out much later on this week, I will be breaking down a poor man's covered call. If you're wondering what that is, you can collect passive income on your leap option as you are waiting for it to move in your direction. So that'll be something that's very, very interesting to watch. Make sure you bookmark your calendar, put on the notifications, obviously, to make sure that you do not miss that. But that is it for leap options. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of an insight and some clarity to it. If you do have any questions, leave them down in the comments section below as per usual. We'll be back here tomorrow with another options trading strategy here. So make sure you do not forget it. If you think you're going to forget it, turn on those notifications just like you are subscribing to the channel, and also make sure you like this video as well. Hopefully, as making money in the market in some way, shape, or form, feel free to check out the Fridge Financials memberships offered on YouTube. It is $6 a month for one of them, and the other one is like $3 a month. If you just want to support the Fridge Financials content creation here, I very much appreciate you as per usual. And just like I always say, and I will say it again, I will see you guys, as always, in the next video.